So to get started with this section of the course, I want to start by examining the imported character mesh. Now, we imported the character mesh in the previous part of this course. It is a rigged character mesh in the FBX format, and that was imported to the folder here, Assets, Meshes and Character. And you can see the character mesh here. I'm going to select that in the project panel. This file is included in the course companion files in the Assets to Import folder if you've not imported it already. Now, because this is a box pushing game, we're going to need a character to represent the player in the level, which is going to be pushing the boxes onto their destinations, and this character will also be animated using skeletal animation. Now, the model, the rigging and the animation data have been prepared already for us using 3D animation software, and all of that data is already baked into this imported mesh file. All that remains for us to do is to configure this mesh in Unity. So the first thing I want to consider is the mesh scale factor, which you can see here in the object inspector, and also the constituent pieces that make up our mesh. So first of all, you'll see here in the project panel, I have the mesh character selected, and there is a little arrow pointing to the right hand side. Now, by clicking on that, I can unfold all of the different pieces that are baked into this model here. We have the skin, the hair, the clothes. We also have this box that's been included, and you can see that here in the preview panel, this character has a box mesh that's been imported with it. Now, this is effectively a reference for us. Later on, we're going to be hiding this box mesh so that it won't be shown in the level. But the box mesh has been included for us, as we'll see soon, so that we can use it as a reference for positioning the real box in the scene. So I'm going to leave the issue of the box at the moment. Just know that it's been included in the mesh file. It's not actually attached to the character mesh in terms of geometry. It's a separate object. You can see it listed here in the file as a separate object from the rest of the character mesh. We also have this take 001, which represents all of the animation data on the timeline in the file. Again, we're going to be working with that very soon. So I'm just going to fold this back for now, and I want to concentrate on the scale factor. Right now, you'll see the scale factor is 0.015. I've gone ahead and set this value off screen. Now, typically I've recommended that you use a scale factor of 1, but sometimes when you're working with pre-made assets, as the case here, we don't always get the nice round number scale factors that we want. And sometimes we have to use a bit of trial and error to choose the right scale factor that will get our mesh to the right size in the scene. So if I drag and drop this character mesh in the scene and I sort of position her down by the floor level, you can see that a scale factor that we've chosen here is about right for this character mesh to get it the right size for the rest of the environment. So that's looking pretty good. So I'm just going to delete that here. So just know that for this character mesh, I'm using a scale factor of 0.015, and that works fine for this character. Okay, with that said, let's move on and consider the rigging and animation data for this character.